What's going on, guys? It's Max24, and the Ubisoft Forward 2023 has just commenced, and there was a lot of games to talk about. But before we do that, before we talk about my thoughts on the show itself, please like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, all that jazz, all the fun stuff. Us YouTubers tell you guys to do. Follow social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I also post on Twitter and TikTok, and on Facebook, barely ever on Instagram. Follow me, subscribe to me here. And with that, let's talk about the Ubisoft Forward 2023. So this Ubisoft Forward is like their not E3 press conference where they talk about all the games they have upcoming. And while there wasn't a lot of huge surprises in this, because mostly everything they talked about we already knew was coming, we did get to see a lot more gameplay from games that have been announced previously that we've just been waiting on release dates and gameplay for. They kind of went all out with some gameplay here. Overall, I thought the show was pretty decent, alright? Nothing over the top, nothing horrible. It was just a decent showcase. We had some developers talk about their games, which is a welcome change of pace from some of these other digital press conferences. As I say in every single one of these videos, one of my biggest issues with the digital press conferences is that they just go from trailer to trailer. They don't give us enough time to talk with the developers. They don't have the developers come up on stage and talk about their games. It's just the next trailer, roll the next trailer, keep the people engaged. But Ubisoft brought people on stage to talk about their games, and that really helped elevate it a little bit because I actually knew what I just got watched. What is this trailer I just saw? I actually knew what's going on. But we're just gonna jump right into some of the biggest things. Let me know what things you really liked from this Ubisoft Forward. Let me know things you really did not like from this Ubisoft Forward. I'll give you all of my thoughts on every announcement as we go. We're going to start with some of the big ones, and the biggest thing out of this was Star Wars Outlaws got a 10-minute gameplay showcase. Now, Star Wars Outlaws was announced during Xbox's game showcase yesterday, and this is the next AAA Star Wars game we are getting. This one is from Ubisoft, and specifically Massive. It's going to be an open-world Star Wars video game set in the underworld between episodes 5 and 6, and we only got a brief CG trailer yesterday, but today we got a 10-minute gameplay showcase, and overall, it looks pretty exciting, alright? There's no lightsabers, there's no force, there's none of that. It's you with a blaster, taking down bad guys, trying to get a big score. In the trailer, the gameplay trailer kind of showed us the main character, whose name is Kay Vess, I believe. Yep, she's a scoundrel in this period. She's on this planet. I forget the planet's name. It was like Trandor or something. I don't know. But she's there. She shows up. She heads in. She infiltrates this facility, she takes something from this facility, she makes it go boom, and then she escapes this facility, she jumps on a speeder, she goes speeding away, only to arrive in the town, and in the town, she meets up with her contact, and then there's an Imperial there, and then she has to flee the planet by being chased by the Empire. It looked like everything you would want from a Star Wars game. Shootouts, characters, fun locations. You actually get to you control your ship, you get to take your ship off of the ground and, fly in space, something that Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor don't let you do. So that's pretty exciting. No customizable characters. If you've been wanting a customizable character, you're out of luck. But I really like these canon characters because it gives them more opportunity to, tell specific canon stories rather than having to cater around your character. But Kay Vess, she seems interesting. We barely got to know her. We barely got to see anything of her. But she seems like an interesting character, an interesting addition to the canon. I'm excited to see where this story goes. And overall, I thought the gameplay here looked really good. Now, the one thing I'm worried about is it is a Ubisoft title, so what's the microtransaction model like? Is there NFTs going to be in it? And how is this game actually going to play when it comes out? All right, this is like the gameplay showcase, so, they're putting their best face forward, but how is it going to look once we get closer to release date? We'll have to see. I don't believe they announced a release date. I think they just said 2024 sometime, but I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later because it looked fun, and I'm always on board for more Star Wars canon adventures. We finally got a look at Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, a more in-depth look. All right, this game was announced a couple years ago at a Ubisoft Forward, and this is now when we finally get to see actual gameplay. It's a first-person action-adventure set in the world of Avatar in James Cameron's creation, and it looks like Far Cry meets Avatar for a very unique experience. I don't know necessarily when this takes place. I'm not super in-depth on the lore of the Avatar universe. There's only been 2 movies I know, but some people actually remember every little minute detail. I don't. I'm sorry. But you're on Pandora. You're a Na'vi, an Avatar actually, and you were frozen, and then you're reawakened, and you experience this new world, and we're fighting back against the RDA. That's the whole concept. I don't necessarily know how much this game has to offer. The gameplay trailer showed us some combat, showed us some adventuring, showed us some scavenging, showed us some classic outpost taking out. Ubisoft is known for their outpost taking out. But yeah, it was there. It looks like the nature kind of reclaims the outpost once you blow it up, which is a kind of a cool feature as long as it actually works. The world of Pandora looked beautiful, all right? That's one thing that James Cameron does great is the world. He created this beautiful world, and this game seems to replicate that really well. The gameplay looks solid, all right? Some of the gunplay looks a little iffy, but overall the gameplay looks solid. It looks like everything you'd want from an action-adventure game. But again, we'll have to wait and see, all right? I've never been impressed by the Avatar storylines yet, so I'm hoping this one impresses me and gets me so on board with these characters. Now, there's definitely going to be cameo appearances. There's no announcement of cameo appearances, but there's definitely going to be cameo appearances. How can there not be? And I'm assuming this is hoping to kick off a new franchise, a new sub-franchise. I think it's an interesting mesh of Avatar and Far Cry. I think it could work really well as long as the story's there and as long as the gameplay is up to par. We'll have to wait and see. It's coming out December 7th, 2023, so that's really close. It's not that far away. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown got some more gameplay showcase. This was announced at the Xbox Game Showcase as well. It's the new 2D side-scroller Prince of Persia game, the return of the Prince of Persia franchise. It looks good. It looks solid. All right, I'm sure it's going to be good. We'll have to see. It's apparently a semi-open world Metroidvania, which we didn't know that first when it first got announced. I thought it was just a platformer, but no, it's actually a Metroidvania, semi-open world, and there's going to be more things to do. We got to see some of the combat. We got to see some of the characters. It was interesting. I'm excited. I'm hoping that it delivers because Prince of Persia has been out of the limelight forever, and I'm glad that's coming back, but where's the Sands of Time remake? Where's the Sands of Time remake? They did not show off the Sands of Time remake. Where was it? What's going on with that project? Is that project scrapped and this is rising in its place? I don't know. I need to know what's happening. But Lost Crown is coming out January 18th, 2024, so we have a whole year to wait. They also showed off some more Assassin's Creed Mirage gameplay, and I am so on board with Assassin's Creed Mirage. I love Assassin's Creed. It's one of my favorite action-adventure franchises. It's one of my favorite franchises in general, and I am so excited to go back to the basics of Assassin's Creed. It looks like everything I would want, all right? The world's beautiful. The characters are beautiful. The action's beautiful. The combat is exactly what you want from an Assassin's Creed game. There's a little bit of supernatural stuff, elements going on in some of the trailers. I don't know what that's about, you know? Some like teleportation, a creepy-looking beast, things like that. I mean, if you know the Valhalla lore, you kind of know who this character of Basim is, really. But, you know, if you don't know the Valhalla lore, then you might be in for a surprise. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be really enjoyable, really interesting. I'm hoping that it delivers. I'm worried it's not going to deliver or it's not going to be worth the price. We'll have to see. I mean, I'm going to pre-order it because I love Assassin's Creed. It's one of the only franchises I will pre-order. I'm sorry, all right? I don't pre-order a lot of things, but Assassin's Creed has my money day one every single time. I'm one of those people. Yeah, it's coming out October 12th. I'm hoping that it's great. All right, I need this to be great. Please be great. They also showed off Assassin's Creed Nexus. It's their new VR experience. It's really kind of interesting. All right, I don't know why they didn't go with the Animus, motif. They just kind of went with this new thing for some reason. I mean, you have virtual reality, augmented reality built into your franchise. Why did you do? Okay, that's okay. But Nexus VR, it's going to be for the MetaQuest. I'm not a VR person, so I'm going to be skipping out on this. But what's really interesting about it is it's going to see the return of Ezio, Cassandra, and Connor. You're going to be taking the form of all three of them throughout this story in first-person view. It's going to bring you to their worlds. It looks like it has the classic, assassination gameplay you'd come to expect, but from a first-person perspective. We'll see if it's good. All right, VR has not sold me. It's not sold a lot of people. It's still kind of gimmicky in the MetaQuest. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it's worth it. Maybe it'll add some interesting tidbits to the lore, or maybe it'll just be this fun little side project to be like, hey, you should go buy into VR. I don't know. We don't have a release date yet, so we'll hold out on that. They also showed off a little bit more of Assassin's Creed Codename Jade. This is the mobile Assassin's Creed game, and oh my gosh, I was not expecting the gameplay to look like this. All right, mobile games, they cannot run very well. They're mobile games. That's what they are, and I don't expect the world, but Codename Jade doesn't look that bad, right? I'll probably check it out. I don't know if I'll get super into it, because it's a free-to-play mobile game, and that means microtransactions, so we're going to have to avoid that. But you get to fully customize your assassin. You get to create whoever you want in China, and it looks pretty interesting. It's set between Odyssey and Origins. They're going to have a public testing phase later this month, so I'm going to check that out. I'll let you know how it is. Maybe I'll post some gameplay. We'll see if I can figure that out. I posted like Pokemon Go gameplay once in my life, so maybe I can do that with Assassin's Creed Jade. I'm hoping that it's worth it, because I don't feel like they're doing I feel like they're doing a disservice to this setting by putting them on mobile platforms. So hopefully it makes its way to mainline platforms, but we'll have to see. But yeah, it looks like a decent mobile game. Again, we'll know more once we get close, once the public test starts. They showed off the Crew Motorfest. It's the next Crew game, and it literally just looks like Forza Horizon, but the Crew. It's coming out September 14th, 2023. It's going to be taking the franchise away from the US, and it's the Crew. I've never played the Crew. I'm a big Forza Horizon fan. I really enjoy Forza Horizon. I don't want to really play the Crew, but Crew fans, I hope you're excited. They also did like this. They revealed this anime they made, which was kind of weird. Kind of came out of nowhere. Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix. It's a new anime coming to Netflix later this year. It's kind of based on Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, but it's got like a lot of crossover content with a lot of Ubisoft franchises like Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs and Tom Clancy and things like that. And Far Cry. I don't know what I was looking at this trailer. All right, it was kind of confusing. What's the story here? This is the game conference, Ubisoft. Why are you showing me this anime? Maybe it'll be good, but we'll just, I don't know. X Defiant is also officially coming this summer. This is the free-to-play first-person arena shooter that Ubisoft has, and they revealed that they're planning to add a lot of content post-launch. It looks like it has a very cohesive post-launch content plan, which is very good for games like this because they live or die on their post-launch content. They're going to be having an open beta June 21st to 23rd. Then they're going to launch it later this summer, and then post-launch they're going to launch 4 more factions, 12 new weapons, 12 new maps, and that's like one map a month, which is, again, a very good year one outlook. Hopefully they'll keep that momentum up. Hopefully enough people play this so they can have their, live service shooter that they really want. We'll see how it works. The X Defiant, it looks decent. It looks like a decent shooter. I probably won't play it, but for fans of shooters, they might want to check it out. Skull and Bones is also still a thing. They talked about that a little bit. They had like some guys come up and like sing a song, and closed beta in August, so it's actually on the way. It's actually coming. That's it. Yep, register now. Closed beta August 25th to the 28th. Yeah, I'm surprised is this still a thing. Nothing about the game gets people excited anymore. Nobody cares anymore, Ubisoft, but maybe they'll surprise us. I'm not holding my breath, though. They also showed off the next Tom Clancy Division game. It's a mobile game. They have an actual mainline game they're working on, but they just showed off the mobile game, the Division Resurgence. It looks like a mobile Division game. I like Division 1 and 2. I'm not going to jump onto this mobile game. No, especially since it looks like you already have like a skin microtransaction model. So, yeah. Ubisoft also revealed a couple crossovers they're doing. They're doing a crossover with Jet Set Radio for one of their games, a crossover with Halo for another one of their games. Looks like a lot of crossovers, a lot of crossover potential. I don't know what more to say about that, Hopefully the crossovers are fun for you people. Riders Republic I believe Riders Republic is getting I don't know what Riders Republic is getting. It's getting a crossover. It's getting a Skate crossover, and then Brawlhalla is getting a Halo crossover, and then Roller Champions is getting a Jet Set Radio crossover, and at the same time Mario and Rabbids is still getting more content, even though that game really didn't make an impact. Anno is celebrating its 25 years. For Honor Year 7 Season 2 is starting. And, Raymond's coming to Sparks Hope also. So, they didn't really elaborate much on that. Oh, and Just Dance is coming. Yep, for those of you who are worried that Just Dance was not coming out this year, it's coming. And they have like this Olympic esports thing. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty much all they talked about at the Ubisoft Forward. Again, there was no like big new announcements. It was all things that we pretty much knew existed, that were in the pipeline, that they just hadn't shown off for a lot yet. I'm glad we got to see a lot of gameplay. This is probably the press conference with the most gameplay, which is very cool to see. All right, we need to see more gameplay from this game. But overall, again, it did not surprise. It did not blow me away. It was just a decent, informative press conference. Nothing super bad, nothing super great. Let me know what you thought about this press conference. All right, if you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it, let me know if there's any games you're excited for. For me, I'm excited for Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Mirage. I need those now, like yesterday. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video.